Hi, my name is Varisha, and I'm a teacher of the Ishaya's Ascension meditation techniques. Today, I'm going to be walking you through some basic Sanskrit pronunciation, and we're also going to chant some of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So, with Sanskrit, it's a language of fullness. It's a language, the actual mantras of many meditations come from Sanskrit. So it's a very full language, and we're not going to be talking about translation today because what we're going to be focusing on is the actual recitation. Different Sanskrit scriptures will activate different aspects of consciousness within the person who's either reciting them or listening to them. And so the Yoga Sutras, there was actually some research that was done that found a correlation between the different parts of the brain and the different parts of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It's thought that reciting the Yoga Sutras helps to harmonize different areas of the brain and correct any abnormalities in functioning and that sort of thing. So it's a very healing thing to recite any Sanskrit. So there are some products on the market about how to pronounce Sanskrit and how to read the scripture. You'll see the script it's called Devanagari, and there's several products on the market for that. You can look them up on Amazon.com or any place like that. The one that I recommend is the American Sanskrit Institute. It probably does cost a little more, but I'd say it's worth it. And anyway, for the traditional scripture, they're basically, the different symbols are instructions about how to reproduce sound, how to articulate, and how to use your mouth, your tongue, your lips. So the symbols are just basically little instructions about how to reproduce the sound. So there's the sound value, but there's also the vibrational value, the energetic value behind the sounds. So we'll talk about that a little bit. What I'm going to be using today is Sanskrit transliteration, because we're going to jumpstart into actually reciting some Sanskrit. So it's kind of the quick start guide, and I would say, I'm going to say this a few times, don't worry about getting the pronunciation exactly right. As long as we're getting it kind of close, that's going to be enough for us to experience the actual energetic value of reciting Sanskrit. So no experience is necessary, and all that you need is just a little willingness to participate. And if you're in your bedroom or living room, then you don't feel quite so self-conscious about having other folks around and that kind of thing. So without further ado, the basic vowels in Sanskrit are like the building blocks that the rest of the language is formed from. So we're going to recite some basic vowel sounds, and these are, this is the Roman alphabet using different things to show, what the sound is. So maybe these sounds are going to be a little bit different than the actual letters that we're used to using, but the idea is that if we're just kind of getting started on Sanskrit, it gives us a little jump start. It gives us, like the symbols are an exact instruction about how to reproduce sound. With the transliteration like this, with our Roman alphabet, it's something that gets it pretty close. I mean, we have some conception about the sounds that these letters are connected with and that kind of thing. So we're going to practice some of these. The most basic sound in Sanskrit is and you kind of have to open your mouth fully to make the sound. And it's an expression of fullness in Sanskrit. The energetic value is a fullness, of wholeness, of infinity. So it's said that the sound is what all the other aspects of all the other sounds come from, that fullness. So they're different parts of the fullness that are, different energetics. So is the sound of fullness, and many scriptures will start with that sound. So the first sound is said to contain the fullness of a scripture in Sanskrit. The first word can also be containing the fullness of the whole scripture. The first sutra, or the first passage, can be said to be the same thing. And a lot of those scriptures will start with because it's starting with the infinite and then stretching it out and describing different aspects of that. So we have we have E, E is more of a cerebral sound. We have oo at the lips, and then we have longer versions of each of these. So we have ah, e, oo, oo. Then we have a, I, o, ow, So these last two are not vowels, they're just different, they're actually sounds that are fairly unique to Sanskrit. The is like a stopping sound. It's like, it's a negation of the sound. It's like, it's like an all stop, I guess you could say. And the is just, when you have a vowel, there's a little extra release of breath after the vowel, so it kind of echoes it a little bit. So it's if you say if you say e, it's e-he. If you say oo, it's oo-hoo. So it's just letting a little extra puff of air out after the vowel. So don't worry too much about it. You'll just kind of, when we're going through some sutras and just reciting those, you'll get the hang of it. So we have e, oo, oo, a, I, o, ow, So let's try this together. E, oo, oo, a, I, o, ow, One more time. E, oo, oo, a, I, o, ow, One more time. E, oo, oo, a, I, o, ow, So those are the basic vowels, and we're just kind of warming up our voices. The way I like to think about Sanskrit is how with yoga asanas, we're optimizing the use of the body. So it's like using the postures to optimize the functioning of the body. So Sanskrit is like a full language that optimizes the use of our voice and our expression. So it can be a very, very powerful means of expression. We're going to go on to some semi-vowel and sibilant sounds. So we have ya, ra, la, va, and we just add an to it so we can actually pronounce them. So they could be combined with any other vowel. So ya, ra, la, va. Then we have the hissing sounds, the sibilant sounds. So the tricky part, sh is pronounced a lot like we would usually, if there was an H in there, like we would say sh in English. This sh is a little bit different. It's actually made with your tongue kind of pointing toward, there's a little pocket, like, if you put your tongue kind of diagonally and make a sh sound, the air is kind of rushing over your tongue. So you can try it, but I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, this sh and this sh, I mean, for the purposes of just jumping in and trying some Sanskrit, it's still going to be pretty close if you just say sh like you would in English. So sh and then sh, if you want to just practice putting your tongue kind of diagonally up. And then sa and ha. So we have sh, sa, ha. So once again, ya, ra, la, va, sh, sa, ha. Okay. We're going to practice some consonants. These are organized in rows as to where your tongue is placed in your mouth. So your tongue is going to be in the same spot for all of these sounds, and then a different spot for all of these sounds, different spot for all of these sounds, different spot for all of these sounds. This is more the back of the mouth. This is the middle, toward the front, and then at the lips. So that's kind of the progression there. And then you'll notice that you'll have the basic sound ka, and then an H added to it, ka. So it's just a little extra exhalation of breath. So you have ka, you're not really exhaling very much, and then ka, you're just letting a little more, like about twice as much air out. So we're going to try that a little bit. Again, don't worry too much about getting it exactly right. So you say ka, feel where your tongue is in your mouth. Ka, ka, ka. And so it's kind of in the back of your mouth. If you say ga, it's the same as ka, but you're adding some vocal cords to it. You're adding some resonance from your throat to it. So you have ka and ga, and then with extra air, ka is ka, ga is ga, and then this nasal sound is making a na sound, but making it with your tongue in the same spot. So you can give it a try. You say na. So you could go, it's a little easier when you do it with these first. You go ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. That's always much easier for me if I say one of these first and then keep my tongue right in the same spot. So, ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. That does feel a little weird because we're not used to using our mouth that way. So next we have our tongue a little more flattish against the roof of our mouth. So cha, and I've just added an extra H for the exhalation of breath. You'll see it kind of both ways. Sometimes it'll just be C-A, which is still cha, but I like to add the H, just helps a little bit. So we have cha, just like we'd say in English. Cha, the little extra breath. Ja, just like in English. Ja. And then nya, kind of rolling the tongue, like if you'd say jalapeno or senora, something like that. So the same thing, just kind of rolling your tongue against the roof of your mouth a little bit. So try that. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. One more time. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Then moving the tongue up a little bit. So ta is just like we'd say in English. So ta, a little more breath, ta. Da, you feel same thing as ta, but a little more in the vocal cords. Da, and then na, just like you'd say it in English. So ta, ta, da, da, na. Then at the lips, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. You know, just like in English. Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. Okay, so that's our warm-up. This is just basic Sanskrit alphabet. I did leave out one of the tongue positions because it's just too hard, and unless you grew up speaking Hindi or another language from that part of the world, there's another tongue position that's a little tricky. So if you want to really learn the whole alphabet and really jump into it, I'd buy one of the courses that's on the market. What we're going to do is do a little recitation from the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So we'll do these together. I'm going to read it once, and then I'll read it again so you can follow along with me. And if you'd like to know the meaning about these sutras, I do have another video out on YouTube. So it's Introduction to the Yoga Sutras. You can find that video on YouTube as well. And let's get started. So again, don't worry too much about the pronunciation, the symbols, all that stuff. This is just kind of something to help us get pretty close to the sounds, pretty close to the articulation. Doesn't need to be exact. We'll still get an experience of this just from reading them. And an experience of what, I guess you could say. So when we're articulating Sanskrit, our brainwaves will start becoming coherent during that. You might find that the body settles down. You might find there's a flow to it. There's maybe at some point not a sense of self anymore. It's just kind of flowing out the articulation. So we can have an experience with that. So it can give us a little taste of that, and with the Ashaya's ascension techniques, the way I think of it is a little taste of what we experience while we're meditating using those techniques. So you can't recite Sanskrit all day, possibly, but this might give us a little taste about what expansion of consciousness can be like, and there's other things out there. There will be contact information at the end of the video. Okay, so we'll start with these. First is just the title, Maharshi Patanjali Pranitam Yoga Darshanam. Let's try it together. Maharshi Patanjali Pranitam Yoga Darshanam. One more time. Maharshi Pranitam. One more time. Maharshi Patanjali Pranitam Yoga Darshanam. And then these little marks are just denoting the different sutras, the short passages, that there's a lot of meaning packed into these because it's such a full expression of language. So check out my other video, and there's a book on the market as well, Enlightenment by MSI. Be sure to check that out. So, first Yoga Sutra, Ata Yoga Nushasanam. Ata Yoga Nushasanam. Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha. Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha. Tada drashtuhu svarupe avasthanam. Tada drashtuhu svarupe avasthanam. Don't worry about the pronunciation, let's keep going. Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Vrittayaha panchatayaha klishta klishtaha. Vrittayaha panchatayaha klishta klishtaha. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayaha. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayaha. Pratyakshanumana-gamaha pramanani. Pratyakshanumana-gamaha pramanani. Viparyaya mithya jnanam atadrupa pratishtam. Viparyaya mithya jnanam atadrupa pratishtam. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Abhava pratyaya lambana vrittir nidra. Abhava pratyaya lambana vrittir nidra. Anubhuta vishaya asampramosha smritihi. Anubhuta vishaya asampramosha smritihi. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tannirodha. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tannirodha. Tatra stithau yatno bhyasaha. Tatra stithau yatno bhyasaha. Satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumihi. Satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumihi. Drishtanushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanghya vairagyam. Drishtanushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanghya vairagyam. Tat param purusha kiyatir guna vaitrishniyam. Tat param purusha kiyatir guna vaitrishniyam. Vitarta vichara nanda smita rupanugamat sampragyataha. Vitarta vichara nanda smita rupanugamat sampragyataha. Virama pratyaya bhyasa purva samskara sheshonyaha. Virama pratyaya lambabhyasa purva samskara sheshonyaha. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layanam. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layanam. Shraddha virya smriti samadhi prajya purvaka itaresham. Shraddha virya smriti samadhi prajya purvaka itaresham. Tivra samveganam asannaha. Tivra samveganam asannaha. Mriddu madhyadhimatravat tatopi visheshaha. Mriddu madhyadhimatravat tatopi visheshaha. Ishvara pranidhanadva. Ishvara pranidhanadva. Klesha karma vipaka ashayir aparamrishta purusha vishesha ishvara. Klesha karma vipaka ashayir aparamrishta purusha vishesha ishvara. So that concludes part 1 of the Yoga Sutra recitation. So these were the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the first chapter, or Pada as they're called. And it's been a pleasure presenting to you today. I do have another video on YouTube about the commentary, about the meaning, and check out our website, thebrightpath.com, and I'd also recommend checking out the book Enlightenment by MSI. It's been a pleasure.